It is no secret that we here at Lemons like old cars, cheap cars, and terrible cars.
Right, so what if you were to take a car that's old, older than either of us, cheap, so cheap it was free, and terrible? I mean, look at it.
This is the story of Buttercup, and it goes back many years in Lemons, at least a decade, to a team that showed up with this 1975 Lincoln Continental with a giant hamburger on the roof. Now, we vaguely remember that the team grabbed the car from a burger joint or something where the car had been parked out front as a promotional item.
Shortly after that, the team replaced the roof-mounted burger with a roof-mounted giant horse, covered the car in fake fur, renamed the team Phony Express, and named the horse, or maybe the whole car, Buttercup.
Now, the Phony Express was pretty well sorted from the start, at least as far as things that matter. They had the horse, they had the fur, and they had an air-powered system that pooped cupcakes out of the horse butt. Gotta have that.
And then suddenly, the team, the car, Buttercup, everything disappeared from Lemons. Now, this happens sometimes. Lemons' history is filled with cars that suddenly fell off the face of the map and have yet to return. Six-wheeled Toyota truck, Scirocco-based Audi S1 Quattro, the Gut Beer blimp, that's just to name a few. So there was a chance that we'd never see Buttercup again, and that got more and more likely with each passing year.
Enter legendary Lemons racers Chris Overzet, Neil Losi, and Corey Dickman, who are looking for some kind of giant American land yacht for a Liberace theme. Now, they were looking in all the usual places, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and of course the classified section of the Lemons forum, when suddenly Chris clicked over to the dark web, aka the unofficial Lemons Facebook page, and there was Buttercup being offered by the original team for the very reasonable price of completely free. So Chris quickly hooked up a trailer and snatched it up. You know, free Buttercups don't just pop up every day.
With Buttercup back at his shop, Chris took inventory of the hardware and made a couple of updates. For starters, it's got a 460 big block with the Holly car, back with the C6 automatic. The suspension is mostly stock, but then Chris added a pair of Chevelle shocks for the front and a pair for an F250 for the rear. Brakes are four-wheel discs with Hawk racing pads in the front, Camaro calipers in the rear. Wheels are 17x9 Steelies with Falcon Azenis tires.
But probably the most important mod, outside of adding a giant horse on top, was the addition of a 110 decibel horsey horn. And I bet you didn't know this about 110 decibel horsey horns, but they come with a lifetime warranty, and Chris has in fact replaced 4 of these with the warranty due to too much horsey honking.
Folks who have driven Buttercup describe it as a momentum car, if such a term can be applied to a 2-ton plus furry horse, but it's got a smog-era 460 that's got maybe 200 horsepower, so you gotta maintain speed and smoothness for peak Buttercup performance. Gas mileage is not a strong suit, and Chris has even hinted that he's gonna retire this car because he can't afford the fuel.
I can't even afford to fill its gas tank.
At what was possibly the car's final race at Sonoma in 2024, the team piloted Buttercup to 59th overall on a field of about 125, earning them the grand prize in Lemons, the Index of Affluency. So if that was its final race, at least it went out with a bang.
Now, despite that obviously high level of on-track success, Chris says that the real Buttercup highlight is the public appearances. It's street legal and has participated in parades, shows, festivals, all of that, and is a crowd favorite everywhere it goes. Once, Chris saw someone admiring Buttercup, and it turns out she had just been recently diagnosed with cancer, and she told Chris, you know, I'm going through a lot. This car just made me smile. Chris said, hop in. And then they spent the next 20 minutes driving around town while she got to honk the horsey horn.
Another time, while leaving Cars and Coffee, a couple flagged down Chris, asked him to drive past their grandson's house. The grandson, apparently a fan of horses, wasn't able to go outside due to a chronic illness, so Chris went back and forth down the street several times as the kid waved inside wearing cowboy hat and pajamas. That's awesome.
Unlike some more pretentious car shows, Buttercup is fully accessible to its fans, with Chris encouraging everyone to hop on the horse for a photo op. Everyone from cops to Bugatti Veyron owners have asked to jump on Buttercup for a picture, but probably the pinnacle for Chris, at least from the standpoint of being an embarrassing dad, was when his daughter was a finalist for homecoming queen at her high school, and then the principal of the school asked to ride Buttercup behind her in the parade.
So if you're looking for a one-stop car that can cover everything from racetrack success to novelty horn destruction to homecoming king of embarrassing dads, it's really only one choice.
Every second you don't subscribe or watch one of these videos, another Vega is sent to the crusher. Won't you help us save Classic?